Adaptive clothing, combining fashion with function and promoting independence. Imagine the frustration of not being able to get dressed easily in the morning. Adaptive clothing is clothing designed to enhance and enable participation and performance in this activity of daily living. My name is Andrea Galvez, and I'm an occupational therapy doctoral student at Nova Southeastern University. I'm recording this podcast for a class I'm enrolled in called Innovations and Technology in Occupational Therapy. The intent of this podcast is to provide useful information about adaptive clothing to other OT students. I will discuss the types of adaptive clothing I found online, the individuals they are designed for, the importance of incorporating fashion into adaptive clothing designs, and ways that OTs can use this technology in practice. On their website, Buck & Buck offers adaptive clothing geared towards people who are elderly and have difficulties with dressing. A client with fine motor difficulties would find their line of Velcro options helpful. Velcro is used in place of buttons on shirts, zippers on pants, and buckles on belts. Slacks and culottes with generously stretchy waistbands are designed to make dressing easier for a person with tremors. Dresses that zip to the hips simplify dressing for individuals with range of motion limitations. Back snap shirts and side snap pants help with assisted dressing for both caregivers and loved ones. Sweatsuits with large armholes and wheelchair ponchos are among the options to choose from. Buck & Buck's adaptive clothes are practical but far from being fashionable. In collaboration with the nonprofit Runway of Dreams, Tommy Hilfiger created a clothing line of adaptive clothes for kids with disabilities in 2016. The adaptive clothes are just as fashionable as the brand's other children's apparel and are within the normal price range for kids' clothing. The clothing was designed with the help of OTs and features hidden magnets in place of buttons and zippers. Additional space is provided around necklines and leg openings to make dressing easier. Hilfiger has drawn attention to the void in the market for fashionable, adaptive clothes for children and has shown that being inclusive is profitable. Another organization that is incorporating fashion into adaptive clothing is the Cerebral Palsy Foundation. They are currently running a campaign in partnership with Derek Lamb called Design for Disability. The campaign is changing society's perception of people with disabilities through awareness and innovation. They recruited 6 talented designers from reputable fashion schools around the country to create accessible outfits for 18 individuals with cerebral palsy. The collections are being highlighted in a 6-part web series that launched last week. The first episode featured the Emily Writing collection and revealed the steps of her design process. The designer took what OTs would consider to be a client-centered approach by interviewing each model, getting to know them, and discovering what was meaningful to them. Writing identified each person's needs in terms of clothing that would be both fun and practical for them. The outfits were designed to fit individual tastes, interests, lifestyles, cultures, and figures. The results were astounding, and the models described feelings of empowerment, beauty, and strength while wearing the adaptive clothes created specifically for each of them. In conclusion, clothes themselves can create barriers in the environment and prevent a person from being able to dress themselves. Adaptive clothing is clothing specifically designed to enable occupational performance in the activity of dressing. OTs can plan and implement interventions that incorporate adaptive clothing to make dressing easier for their clients.